Okay, let me turn off Alexa. Hold on. It's my favorite.
Oh, you was moving in there.
Hold on. Alexa, pause, because we're going to pick this back up later. Hi, Clarisa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, trying to keep myself busy in quarantine.
I know. It's probably hard to do, right?
Sometimes it depends. It depends. Like I have projects and stuff, so I keep myself busy. So
yeah. You
but
look so pretty. Look like your mama.
What? You're pretty. Be quiet. Get out. Me pretty. You're pretty.
Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna start off the this series because it gets transferred to my actual podcast. And so then after that, then we will get started. Okay. So I kind of changed my voice up a little bit. So, but you know.
Okie dokie.
All right. So hello. Good evening, everyone. This is Kenyatta Gray of Girls Love, Flights, Feelings, and Fashion. And tonight we have a very special guest. I mean, very special. I've known this young lady since she was in high school and I watched her go to college. And I'll tell you more about that in a few minutes. But her name is Clarisa, and I'll let her tell you about the other name that she goes by in just a minute. So welcome, Clarisa.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. And I want to tell everybody, the reason why Clarisa is so incredibly important to me personally is because Clarisa is the illustrator behind the celebrity favorite Glam Girl beach towels. So every design since 2020, and then the 2021 collection, that new towel that's going to drop, the LGBTQ towel that is first ever towel of its nature to be, you know, available and on the market. I want you all to meet Clarisa. I've done a blog about Clarisa. I always try to make sure that I let people know because this is the team behind the Glam Girl beach towels. So Clarisa, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
All right, so Clarisa.
Yes.
It's your turn now. So tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're from.
So my name is Clarisa. I am an illustrator and a graphic designer. I'm from who am I? I often get asked these questions. I'm from Upper Marlboro. I live in Bowie. I went to school in Baltimore. I went to school for graphic design and illustration at Morgan State. And yeah, that's a little background of me. God, I feel like I'm on a date right now. Like, when's the last time I talked about these things?
I know.
Besides being on an interview.
So you went to Towson, right?
No, I went to Morgan.
You went to Morgan.
Right down the street.
Do you have a sibling that did go to Towson?
They all went out of state. They went to New York. Oh, I actually went to New York. I can't keep track of these girls.
I'm getting you confused with my kids. Okay.
One is in New York. One went to Philly.
Okay.
And then one went to Bowie. Yeah.
Oh, Bowie State.
Yeah.
All right.
So we around the way. We around.
Yeah, y'all are around. All right, so before we actually get fully into it, I want to just say a couple of things about Clarisa. So the reason why that I know, the way that I got to know Clarisa is because her mom and I worked together for many, many years. And maybe about 2 years ago, her mom and I were having lunch. And so we were talking about the Glam Girl beach house. I don't know why we were talking about that at lunch. And I was talking about how I wanted to go in another direction. I wanted to find another illustrator. And I always knew that Clarisa was an artist, went to school and everything. But I never thought about Clarisa in that role for my business, Flights and Stilettos. And so we were sitting at lunch. And Clarisa's mom, God bless her heart, because she is a character. She was like, girl, I'm going to get Clarisa to do them towels for you for free. I was like, no, we're not going to do that.
She always selling us.
I know, right? I was like,
she always trying to sell us out with people.
I said, we're not going to do that. I said, but send me some of Clarisa's artwork and let me see. And then me and Clarisa will discuss the business nature, right? And so, obviously one thing led to another. And so that is the backstory about how I met this talented young lady, Clarisa.
Oh, you're so nice.
So Clarisa, tell us about your profession as an illustrator, and what kind of projects do you what kind of projects do you work on? What does that mean to actually be an illustrator?
Well, it could be a lot of things. A lot of people get like confused with illustration with like graphic design, graphic artists, concept artists, you know, like just drawing in general. So I do a little bit of both of design, graphic design, and illustration, which is actually a little hard to explain because they're kind of like two sides of the same coin. Okay. But I would say like illustrating is more like storytelling. So it's kind of like when you look at a picture and someone drew something, like what are you trying to convey from that picture you looked at? So like, oh, like when you see a picture of like a girl eating ice cream and like chilling, like, okay, that girl's eating ice cream, that's cute. Like you connect two and two together versus like graphic design when you see like a Starbucks ad and it looks really nice around trying to pull you in for like marketing, stuff like that. So that's what like those differences are, just the gist of it. And so when I do my illustrations, it's more so like, for example, when I worked on the covers for the official visitor guide for DC for like traveling and stuff.
Hello.
Yeah.
I hear that. Did you all hear that? She does work for DC government. That's how bomb she is.
Well, yeah, it's like more of a travel agency than like government, but it's, you know, same thing. But yeah, so it's just basically like just like, hey, I want you to draw like the monument and like the kite festival. I want you to illustrate that, what that looks like. So I'm like, okay, cool. I just draw some little ideas and just pull it out somewhere and yeah, have fun with it. So like little stuff like that, or like an illustration I did for Be Fine. It was basically just
Be Fine. That's
the swimsuit company,
right?
Yeah, it has like these really crazy, intricate designs and everything like that. Yes. So like they asked me to like, hey, like can you illustrate some girls like just kind of on the beach chilling or with these designs? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I just kind of like illustrated like them just doing their thing, having fun on the beach with their swimsuits.
And I think I remember seeing it, and it was epic. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that. I did other stuff too, but I wasn't allowed to disclose. Like, there's some illustrations you can't really disclose because it's, you know, for the company, what they're going to use for the future, or they want to kind of keep for their personal selves. Right. So yeah, it's just like stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's yeah, I just kind of like do those things, like whatever people ask me to do, I try to do my best.
But I really like what you said because you know, you just educated me. I didn't realize, you know, like you said, illustration is more about telling a story. And when you think about graphic artists, it's just more about marketing and promotion. So I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, they both catch your eye, but it's more so like when you think of graphic design, right? Like you think of the McDonald's logo and the arches, or like a flyer to like buy one get one free, and it looks nice, and you know they have the typography blown up like 50% off and buy one get one free, stuff like that. Illustration is just like, oh wow, what is that girl? She looks like she's hurt. Like someone drew her like blood dripping. Like someone obviously attacked her. Like, okay, like you're trying to convey this idea and put it in their head. You know what I mean? So
that's something. Oh my gosh.
So it's just like a lot of people, you know, they just don't know. But I mean, that's okay. Like
right. No, but that's why we're having this, so that you can educate people on that.
I mean,
so,
I
didn't know. I mean, and so. At the end of the day, I'm so glad, because we're going to talk about the Glam Girl Beach House, but I'm glad that I didn't go out and say, oh, let me get a graphic designer to make these beach towels, because it would not have probably been the same outcome, because these beach towels tell a story. There's something behind each of them.
Yeah, versus like if a flyer, like, hey, I'm having this Instagram live thing, come jump on and I'll have a picture, versus like, hey, I'm trying to set this scene, like the girl's over here, she's in the sunset, she's like wandering, she just got over like a breakup and she's living her best life, she don't care like about that person she just broke up, whatever, like you know, it's like stuff like trying to like grab and pull that idea and illustrate that with the scene, the lighting, the anatomy, the whatever is going on, you know.
Oh, and I can tell you get into it.
I mean, I try to, but I drive myself insane sometimes, like, Oh God, it's just, I just wrap my head in so many circles. I have so many concepts, so many. They're like, oh, this don't look right. Oh, her arms off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh God, we can go into it all day, but.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is passion. I see the passion, honey. So now that you've actually clarified what the distinction is between graphic work and illustration, do you do graphic work or do you kind of not do that?
I do a lot of graphic work. So I went to school formally I went to school for graphic design, but I've always been an illustrator and I've always drawn. So like that has always been a part of me since like I was young. Right. Really? So like, I guess you could say my more formal education was in design, and then like my background was just in drawing stuff, like, you know, drawing on the wall. If I'm on with my ass or like, my wall, I'm not supposed to. Like, oh, what? Oh, please. We can go all day. Like what she did not do to me. Drawing. I used to take my dad's, I remember one time I took my dad's belt and I drew on it.
Did you?
Yes. I was like, oh wait, I think that. And I think he was looking for, he just like, he didn't know what to say. He was like, oh, okay. And so like I just thought it was just like, look, I made it better. Like it's not boring anymore. Like, you know,
I love it. That is so precious.
Yeah. So like, you can say I do, like I formally went to school and for graphic design, and then like I've always been an illustrator and I've always learned, like I'm still learning.
Right.
So that never stops. So
right.
Like But,
wow. So speaking of when you were a little girl, how old were you when you started drawing and started to realize, wait a minute, this is something? Or when your parents started to realize that it was something?
I think my earliest memory of drawing, and I knew like this is the thing that I wanted to do, was I remember one time I was in kindergarten, and I don't know why I remember this, but I started drawing this picture, and I was just like really like drawing like into it, like, oh man, color, this is tight, like, oh shit, like, oh my God, like this is tight. And so it was time for story time, and the teacher's like, okay, kids, come over and like, let me read you the story. So all the kids get up and they go sit around the circle and read their little story, whatever. And I'm the only one over here like, I'm not reading that story. I'm gonna sit here and draw. And then so the teacher's looking at me like, did she not hear me? I'm like, no, I heard you. I heard you. That's all. So I'm just gonna sit here and keep drawing. And so I kept doing that, and then my teacher's like, hey, you can't like just sit here and draw. Like you gotta come over. I'm like, I don't want to read that story. Why can't I do this? You know, stupid little kid stuff. And so like, yeah, and then I kept doing that, and eventually I started getting in trouble at school. Like, Clarissa's not paying attention, she's drawing these pictures, blah, 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 say that for art school. And then like when I got to middle school, my teachers were yelling at me like, okay, like we're not drawing today, we're doing something else. I'm like, whatever. So I had to like learn to just like get myself together and just finish school, get the hell out of here, and just do what I wanted. Like,
and do what you like.
Yeah, and even like my mom wanted to put us in, like, we do, well, not we, but we as in my mom tried to put all of us in sports and track and everything. So she put all of us in track, and I was like, I am not about to run around these damn circles in this track. Take me out of this. I'm not doing this. I'm drawing circles. I'm not running in circles, okay? Like, get me out of here. Get me off of this. Like, get me out.
Oh my God.
Yes, like I was not, and I knew even more, like I'm not doing that. So I just keep me home on summertime. I just stay home by myself and draw. Like I'm mature. I just all I want to do. Like just keep me home.
I know I wanted to draw.
Yeah, I just want to draw. Like just leave me alone. What's my chores? Here's my report card. Leave me alone. I'm in my room. Like don't pay me.
That reminds me of like those people that like they like those creators. They're like, I just want to sing. I just want to dance. And that's all that matters.
Yes,
so I love it.
Like go away.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
So Clarisa, all right, so we're gonna talk about the Glam Girl Beach House a little bit.
Okay.
So the Glam Girl Beach House, it's a fun project to work on. So how did you feel when I invited you to be the chief illustrator for all of the Glam Girl Beach House?
I was excited. Well, number one, I love drawing women. Like, so that's my favorite like subject matter to draw, because I know I have the parts, like I can relate to it. Like, oh yeah, I know what the boob looks like. I know all that stuff. So it's one of my favorite subjects to draw. So when I got the opportunity to, when my mom said, hey, my friend wants you to draw like these glam tiles, and it's going to be like females and like all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, that's fun. I want to do that. Yeah, that sounds fun. So it was excited. Like, oh, finally something that I get to draw instead of someone else tell me like, actually stop drawing these girls, draw like a building or draw something. I mean, which is fine, but I just like drawing women. I don't know. I think everybody likes looking at women. They're pretty, like they're so elegant. Like, you know what I mean? Like everybody's straight, whatever, gay, like whatever you want. Like everyone's like, oh, pretty girl, like boys, girls, everybody, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you can clearly tell that is your lane. That's what you love to do because there's a lot of detail in what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on it. I feel like I can be a lot better.
Really?
Oh my God, what?
Everybody can say that about themselves, so you know.
No, but I like go in on myself. I'd be like, oh, I'm so basic. Like I feel like when people describe like, oh, how do you feel about your art? I always say like, oh, I get the basic fundamentals. That's about it. I mean, I have a skill set, and I think I'm okay. I think I can keep up, but I'm not like God sent or God tier or anything.
Girl, you are a bomb.
God.
If nobody told you today, you are a bomb.
You're so nice.
No, you are a bomb. And every time that there is something special that like one of the most special things that happened this year as with the Glam Girl Beach Towels was to be featured by Claire Somers of Fashion Bomb Daily. That's huge. A beach towel. Your design was so bomb.
Really?
It actually was a towel that made a fashion statement that got on her radar. That's huge.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I wanted to make sure that you were confident, that you knew. I'm like, Clarisa, see what you did? You know, so your artwork is bomb. And I'm so glad that you haven't gotten so busy and so big that, you know, you and I can't work together. Like I have to make an appointment to get with you or whatever. So
nah, that's one of my biggest fears. Like I don't ever want to be famous. Like my goal, I always tell my friends, like, I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be big. I don't want to be well known. I just want to draw. I just want to make my money, have my little coin, and just draw what I want and what I'm happy with, and that's all. Like, I don't need the...
I like that, Clarisa. That's like a humble spirit, and it kind of reminds me of me. I like being behind the scenes for the most part. Like you said, I just want to do what I do behind the scenes, collect my coins.
Yeah, just give me my money and just tell me what I need to do. And
yes.
Because, like, I don't know, being famous, like, that whole idea is just, like, it's so invasive. Like, don't take pictures of me when I'm going to Target. Like, dang, like, what if I look crusty? Can I look crusty? Like, oh, my God. Like, Fox 5 News, she looks crusty. Like, oh, my God. I'm just like, oh, my God, I can't even sit in my own crust. Like, come on.
You are so hysterical.
Yeah, like, what? But whatever. But
you are a mess.
That's how I feel. Like, oh, my God, I can't even sit in my own crust. Like, leave me alone. Like, you know, like, just the idea. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be famous. Just kind of just chill and just, you know.
I feel you. I'm with you 100% on that.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, when things started picking up with like my projects and stuff, I got like more and more and more requests, and I'm just like, oh my God, all these requests, I'm just one person. So like I started getting like to a point where so many like art requests and like getting permission for a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I was getting burnt out. I didn't have a personal life. I didn't talk to my friends. I wasn't doing things I like to do. So then it was just like, okay, well, I want to still have a life and like pick and choose my projects and just take it easy, because I get burnt out like really fast. So yeah. So
Clarisa, of the Glam Girl Beach Towels, which of those is your favorite design?
I like Namaste the best. Is that what it's called? Namaste.
That's a really bag, but Namaste. Yeah.
I call her Namaste.
I think you gave her a Namaste pose.
Yeah. I'm like, it's her.
Really?
It's Namaste.
So Serenity Bay is your
I
favorite.
like that one a lot because, like, I guess that was like the first one I did with the sunset theme. And it was more so like, and I like the way the colors are in the sky. And like, I just like sunsets in general. It's like the purples, the pinks, the yellows, and the blues, how all that just comes together. It's so warm. It's so like, I don't know. It's just so nice and relaxing. It's just very aesthetic to look at.
And I'm looking over on my, in my inventory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 towels left.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. So is that a personal fave?
It's a personal favorite of mine as well. All of my towels are the favorites. Yeah. But I really love that Serenity Bay for all the reasons that you just said. And what I want people to understand is that I kind of give Clarisa this concept. Like I'll have this vision of what I think somebody should be doing on the beach, what this woman should be doing, this image that I want to project on a beach towel that I think could resonate with a lot of different women, but then maybe not. Maybe there's this specific woman that is into yoga, for instance, with the Serenity Bay, and how can we capture that image on a beach towel? So I'll kind of give Clarisa the vision, my idea, but I honestly let Clarisa do what she does, right? I don't know how to put colors together. I don't know what else needs to be done. So I said, Clarisa, the woman should be, peaceful on the beach, have a yoga type appearance. And I give Clarisa full artistic, creative authority to do what she does, right? That's why I hired Clarisa. And every time she comes back, and it's a winner. So that is how our relationship works. And hi, guys. Thank you for joining in on the live. I appreciate all of your support. With 800 million accounts on Instagram, you chose to join this one, so thank you.
Aw. Hey, y'all. Hey, Shartice. Hey, girl. Ariel, see you too. All my sisters in there. Okay, y'all. I see ya.
Oh, your sisters?
Yeah, they're so cute.
Nice.
They're so funny. They're so supportive.
Charlene was going to pop in the back.
Oh, God. Charlene is... Okay, let me tell you something. I live by myself.
Okay.
Charlene's not coming up here telling me what to do. I'm out of there. Like, like, Charlene, she comes over, she leaves, and that's it. She comes over, harass me, start terrorizing me, start telling me what to do, what I need to do in my own house.
Yes.
So I'm like, all right, Charlene, it's time to go.
Time to go.
I love you, but I'll see you later.
So Clarisa, let me ask you, so what other notable or high profile projects have you designed for?
Not that many.
Well, no, you said Be Fine. That's big.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's pretty big. So Be Fine, I did stuff for DC, like doing their art. Yeah. I do some stuff currently I do some stuff for like healthcare. A lot of healthcare, like a lot of it I can't really disclose. Right, no. So just like illustrations for that. Like medical illustrations they might need, or things related to current happenings around the world right now.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so
oh my gosh.
But yeah, I wouldn't say like big. I definitely interviewed at one company. It was a gaming company at Bethesda. They make like Fallout games and things like that. Right. And I actually interviewed with them, but I didn't get to do any like work with them. But when I interview with them, I kind of realized that I really don't want to work for like these crazy big massive companies. Just because because like a lot of times it's like a nice name to have on your resume, but like sometimes these they work you to death. Like they will like I know like they have these companies where it's like, oh yeah, we have an in-house chef, like we have like laundry on site. I'm just like, yeah, this is cool. Okay, so do you have all this stuff, daycare, free daycare, all this? I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. But then once you actually sit down and like put two and two together, it's like this is why they have all this stuff, is because no one has a life outside. So I'm just like, okay, well, I don't think I would want to start like I would like to do like one-off projects every once in a while, but I don't want to be so confined into like these big companies and like, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I work for PlayStation. Like, oh, I work for so-and-so. Because it's like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, they work for them, but those guys are like so burnt out and like they don't have a life, or like, you know what I mean? So I try to pick and choose of what I want to do. So
that's interesting, Clarisa, and that's a very mature perspective to have. You choose a life, and you choose balance over prestige and fame and fortune. So I applaud that, because a lot of people would rather just work themselves ragged, but they're famous and they're associated with this big company, and you're like, nah, I can enjoy my life, I can work my craft, and do something different with my life, opposed to just working myself like a dog and not having a quality of life. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do still work myself like a dog, but that's just like for me, like, because I want to grow and stuff like that. But I mean, it's definitely cool to say like, yeah, I work for so and so, but I don't want that to ever get like above like my ego to be like,
Oh
Yes.
yeah, like I work for Disney. Like I work for, you know who I am? Like I work for Pixar. Like, oh please, Louis called me on the phone. Like I never want to be like that because like,
Right.
you know, it's so material. Like we're all humans. It's like, oh hey Louis, what's on? You want to work with me? Oh that's cool. Okay, bye. Great. It's so and so. I draw this. All right, Sue, here you go. Like,
Yes.
all right, well I'm gonna go to the beach now. So, like you
That's
know,
why me and you are here. Because
yeah. I was
I
like,
have a humble spirit like that too. I really appreciate that about you. And I just learned something new about you, and I respect you even more.
yeah,
So I
so I
love
mean,
that.
I never want to idolize like celebrities or like brands. I'm like, it's
Right.
definitely cool, like, you know, they
Right.
recognize you, like, you know,
Right.
but it's like, oh, cool, they picked up my work. That's exciting, you know, but I don't want to be like, oh my God, like, yo, guess who hit me up? Like, you
Right.
know, like, God, they're like so, I'm just
Right. Like
like,
your
dude, they're
validation
people.
comes from that. And it
Yeah, so it's more so
exactly.
like, okay, that's nice that they're Kylie Jenner, because I've heard so many stories from like artists. I don't want to name names,
Right.
but like artists who work for like Disney and Pixar, or like who have been in that celebrity space, like working
Right.
under like Kylie Cosmetics, and like
Right.
I don't want to put anyone down, but they
Right.
just they don't like, you know, they don't
Right.
really treat artists as, I guess, valuable as
Wow.
a lot of people see them as. Like, oh cool, art is valuable, but they're not like paid as much, or they're not treated as the same respect as like, oh you're, or like a doctor. I remember one time me and my friend, we were in Europe, and you know, it was a pretty prestigious restaurant, because you know, like I make my little bit of money here and there when I travel. And so people were looking at us, they were just staring at us. We were the only black people, of course, and they're just like looking like, you know, like, oh, what are you doing here? Like, you know, and these two ladies that was sitting right next to her, they were elder white ladies, and they were like, one of their first questions was, what do you do for a living? And then my other friend said, she's a writer. And I said, well, I'm an artist. And it kind of like laughed at us like, oh, like, okay, like that's not anything like big,
Oh my
but you're
goodness.
here, so I guess that's whatever, you know what I mean? Versus like if you say like, oh, I'm a mechanical engineer, or I'm a
Right.
surgeon, you're like, oh yes, doc, thank you for, you know what I mean? It's not that
Yes.
same kind of
Right.
respect, like that mutual respect. So
Really? Oh.
yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people like, oh, I'm an artist. Like, oh, you're an artist. Like, what do you make? Like $20 a year or something? Or like, yeah, they don't really. So when I say like I do all these things, they kind of look at me like, you're an artist, but you do this. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not, whatever. It's none of my business. None of their business.
Right. It's not.
I don't care. It's like whatever. Bye.
Oh my God. Well, Clarissa's so okay. How long? I think. Well, I know the answer to this question, but it might be a question. I mean, it might be a question that other people are curious about. So, how long does it take for you to illustrate? Let's say, for example, a glam girl beach towel. How long does it take before you like really start to think about, okay, what is this going to look like, and then putting the colors together and the whole illustration? How long does that process usually take?
I guess like I would say on average like 2 weeks or something. But it
Okay.
usually depends on like what I'm doing or how many projects
Right.
I have at the time. But
Right.
you make it really easy doing it for the grand beach towels, because you have the idea. Like you say like, hey, I want to beach towel this girl reading on the beach with her Bible on this side, with waves, with dolphins, with this, with this. So I'm just like, oh, like she did all the work for me. Great. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have to do, because most of the time when people approach me, they're like, hey, I want you to draw something for me. I'm like, okay, like, what do you want me to do? Like, I want you to
Right.
just, I want you to draw this thing for my book cover. I'm like, okay, well, what do you want? I don't know, just be
Right.
creative. I'm like, okay, I want to draw a hot dog with wings and some legs wearing a diaper. Like, that's creative. And they're like, no, that's not what I meant. I'm more like, I'm like, okay, like, I cannot read your mind. Like, what do
Right.
you want? Like,
You
you
said
know,
hot dog with wings.
like, we're hot dog with wings with some legs wearing a diaper. Like, that's, with some sunglasses on, like, that's creative.
Oh my God.
But that's what I mean by like, when people approach me, it, like my timing depends on like how clear you convey your
Right.
idea. Because if you say like, oh, just give me anything, I'm like, that could be anything. And then I give you
Right.
anything. And they're like, no, that's not what I meant.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah, versus like you're saying, hey, I want this, that, and the other. And make sure you have blah, 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 blah with these details. And I say, okay, cool. You want the blah, blah, and then blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, that blah, blah, with the blah, blah. I'm like, oh, great, gotcha. So,
Well, I'm glad that helps you out, because sometimes when I'm like running off all these things, I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold up, maybe
no. Trust me.
what should be on the side?
No, I always tell my friends that like you're one of my best clients, because like you know what you want, you tell me what you want, Like, it's on time. You're like, hey, I want this. Make it happen. Do you do? I'm out of here. Let me know how much it costs. I'm out. Like, you know. So I'm just like, yes, why can't people be more like this?
Yes, exactly. I feel like that in other work. I mean, and then the respect, and then the time frame, and you're very punctual. You're responsive. You deliver on time. If you say it's going to be done in 2 weeks, it's going to be done in 2 weeks. And I take that seriously. Like, my time, my effort, I'm paying you to do a service in the time frame that you said that you want to do it. You know, and so I've really valued that about you as well, because I feel like you are the ultimate professional.
Oh, really? I could do better, but look, man,
no,
my best out here.
Trust me, I done worked with some people. I'm like, I ain't never working with your ass again.
Oh, but, what? Yeah. They need to get that coin, you know?
Yeah, so. It must not mean that much to them. But I definitely enjoy working with you for those same reasons. And I know that you really, really take pride in what you do. You know, and it shows. It shows. Like I said, these beach towels be selling out all over the place.
What?
You know, they're coveted. People want them. And I try to make them exclusive. Like, you know, when they sell out, I try not to replace them. Like, if you didn't get it in 2020, then oh well. Because I want to try to keep coming out with something new, and that adds to the exclusivity. Is that the word of the towel?
I don't know. I'm not good with words. Whatever you mean. I know what you meant.
You know what I meant, though.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
So, Clarisa, so, you know, we might have some people that are aspiring artists, aspiring illustrators that are tuning in. And so what advice do you have for someone that wants to be an artist like you and that wants to follow in your footsteps?
I would say just keep drawing, keep studying. And when you're drawing and studying, try to understand what you're drawing. And this is the mistake I made personally. Like, so you see like this finished product of like, you know, like, oh, these girls with these, this amazing anatomy, you know, but it's more so like, oh yeah, let me just jump into it, just draw this head, blah, blah, blah. But like taking the time to really step back and understand like, how does the head like is proportioned with the chest, the bust, like what makes those surface marks? Why do these muscles have, why is there a six pack? Why are there abs? Like, what does that connect with what? So then once you understand those like surface things, you take those fundamentals and then start to apply it to like, you know, the final result, and like understand color theory, understand lighting behavior, and understanding like shapes and form and anatomy, and just all those boring stuff that, you know, your teacher had you go through school that I really didn't pay attention. I'm like, whatever, I'm not doing this. I just want to draw comics. Like, you don't know what I want. You don't know what I want. I'm the best. Like, whatever. But then like as I gotten older, I took a step back. Like, oh, I need to go back to my fundamentals, and I'm still studying those fundamentals, trying to get better. But I would just say like, yeah, like study, draw a lot, like understand what you're drawing, follow your passion. I know a lot of people who drew when they were younger. Almost probably everybody was an artist when they're younger, you know, they just kind of grew up, and you just like stick with it, you know, and just like find your passion, and just it'll happen. The better you get, the more connections you make. It'll be easier for you to like, you know, opportunities open and people will start to get to know you and respect your work, build a reputation. Start off small. You don't have to go work for freaking PlayStation or Gucci, be the illustrator for the Gucci new bags or whatever. Like you can like work up around the way, like drawing some murals or something in your community, and someone will see that and they walk by like, oh, who did that? Oh, I gotta call them. Then that just starts building up. So like, I guess give yourself some grace. So,
but speaking of murals, you've done murals, right?
Like maybe like one or two, but I'm not really a mural person. I like to work in the smaller digital space. Cause like I'm a small person. I'm not gonna get on that big ass like wall. I'm like, So,
I thought you had done a mural. I thought I heard your mom tell me you did a mural before.
Oh yeah, that was I didn't actually do so. Okay, let me rephrase like mural. So like I did a digital illustration and they put it in New York to advertise like come to travel in DC. So whatever I had illustrated for the DC tourism department, they put that, they took that digital illustration that I had made and turned it into a mural like over in Penn Station. So it was like really bling blowing.
See, you're so humble.
Oh my God. Humble.
your illustrations have featured over Penn Station.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but it's not like a mirror where I go in like, okay, let me trace this and just paint all this. I'm like, okay, how about I do this? How about I make a digital illustration, I send it to you, and you can plaster that on the wall. How about that? Oh, so, yeah, just like stuff like that. I've done stuff for my school. Like in college, it was a long time ago. So
I know, and you know what? One of the other things I remember from your mom, she told me that your art, like you sold it on Amazon. Is that still true?
Amazon? Okay, wait. First of all, I sold it on eBay. Not Amazon.
Oh, was it eBay?
And that was when I was broke in college. I was like, dog, I want to go to the movies, or I want to go hang out with my friends, and I want to get like, dang, can I get Chick-fil-A for like one? I'm tired of eating noodles and this trash food every night. So I would just draw whatever, and then people would just buy it. I would just sell it for like, I would just draw something and just sell it like for $10. I'm like, oh shit, you bought that? I'm like, okay, whatever. And I was just like, oh cool, I made $100 this week just drawing, like just selling it on eBay. So that's what I would do in college, like just drawing like little comic stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And like sometimes it'd be like weird stuff, like lewd stuff, like, okay, draw me a mermaid with super big old titties. I'm like, you got it, big old titties coming right up. And I just draw the big old titties and like, here are your titties served on a hot platter. Thank you, come again, give me my money. Yeah, so it's kind of like turned stripper into like not really a stripper, but like drawing the lewdy girls or whatever. And just like, all right, here you go, thanks.
Hey, Yolanda, I see you from Michigan. Hey,
hi, Michigan.
Gosh, we got quite a few people on here. Some people that actually I've never seen, but hey, guys, welcome. This is me and Clarisa, the Chief Illustrator for Flights and Stilettos, but she doesn't only do Flights and Stilettos. She's been talking about all of her creativity. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are actually almost at the end of this interview.
Oh,
and so I know, right? It's so fun.
Thank you.
So, but I know that from looking at your page, and I think some of the conversations that you and your mom and I have had, are you a gamer?
Yes, I'm a gamer. I would say I'm a gamer.
So tell us about that. Tell us about your hobby as a gamer.
Oh my God.
It's not often that you find a Black woman as a gamer.
Really? I know a couple gamers that's Black.
Like you said, a couple.
I don't know. I feel like everyone in the world should play video games, because like, I feel like honestly, it's just a movie, but you just get to control it. Like that's how I see it. So like, yeah, I got into it when I was younger. Like my older sister, she's in here, Kersey Brave. Hey girl, hey Chartice. She used to grow up on PlayStation playing Tomb Raider, Crash Bandicoot, all this stuff. My dad played Metal Gear Solid, and I just sat there and watched like, wow, like, is this a movie? Like, what is this? Like, no, they're controlling it. Like, this is, I'm like, this is dope. Like, yo, they onto something. This is cool. And so I was like, okay, I take a break from the game. Like, take a break from the game. Like, you don't keep playing it, and like, I want to watch. Like, keep playing it. I don't know what happened next. And it's just like, okay, well, fine. I'm taking the matters in my own hands. So sometimes I would like finish my dad's games, and like, I'm like, Dad, I beat the game since you won it. He'd be like, what? So that's how I kind of started into gaming. Just kind of like,
it's awesome.
Yeah, just kind of cycle, because it's just like a movie. It's like a big story. Like people see it as just like, oh, this is geeky, nerdy thing. I'm like, not really. Like a lot of the adventure games is like, oh, okay, so this is character. Okay, I gotta go save. Oh, for real. And then plot twist. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta. So you just get into it. It's just so fun. Like, I don't know.
So Clarisa,
hey, Daddy. That's my.
I think my son is a gamer, and he does. Do you remember this game called RuneScape?
RuneScape, yeah, I know RuneScape, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's old.
I tried to figure out how can I get the company shut down.
Oh my God, don't do that. My mom did the same thing. Like, get off that game. You've been on the game all day. I'm like, dog, I did my homework. Leave me alone. Like, let me, like, dog. Like, I just want to draw. Let me play the game. Like, you've been on the game all day. Like, so I did my homework. I got good grades. I cleaned the kitchen. What's the problem? I don't get it. I'm like, okay, but Sass and Kayla, they over there like on the phone doing whatever and watching TV. Like, you don't say nothing to them. Like, hello, Sass and Kayla, get off the TV. Like you don't say nothing to them, but you gotta say something to me when I'm playing the game. Like, okay, bye, mom. Get out my room.
You know that there's like my son Dominic. Can you type what? There's some new PlayStation that's coming out.
Oh, okay. Come on, PlayStation 5.
Do you know which one it is?
Yeah, this is one, girl. Everybody, girl, that already sold it. I might get my hands on that thing until.
Well, apparently my son, he's getting it, and he
ain't getting it. Where he getting it? He pre-ordered it. Ain't nobody getting it.
But look, Clarissa, he's at PS5, baby. He's so
okay.
obsessed with it. He put in a leave slip for work. I'm like, dude, if you don't take your ass to work.
No, I don't blame him, because there's been many times where I have taken off work to play a game that just came out.
Shut up, Clarissa.
Yes. I mean, think about it. Like, I don't want to just work for the man all day. Dang, can I take a day off to play the game and not work for the big wig for once in my life? Like, can I just kick it and not have to worry about what y'all tripping about? Dang, let me take off, play my game. Like, people take off to, like, go fuck off somewhere, like the couch, or just chill. Like, I want to take off today, just watch TV. Like, I can do the same thing. Like, so whatever. To each their own.
To each their own. Clarissa, this has been so fun. I don't even know when the last time I have laughed so much in an interview. You are just full of personality. I should have known, because your mom is a mess.
She's like, a psycho. A mess isn't the word.
Yes. But if I ever want a good laugh, I know to call Charlene.
Call Charlene, because I call her. She say crazy things to me all the time. Oh my God, let me tell you what she told me one time. I would never forget. I think this is so funny. And the people that's watching. One time, oh my gosh, she's so funny. One time we was about to go to the store, right? And you know, like, you just go to the store, put on some sweatpants, whatever. And she's like making herself up in the mirror, like doing whatever. And I was like, Mom, why are you making yourself up? We're just going to the store real quick. And she was just like, well, you never know who you'll meet. And I was just like, well, I mean, people like you for your personality. And she says, only ugly people say that. Like, oh my God, what a be.
Off the chain.
She's crazy.
Yeah,
she's funny. She's psycho.
Like, but you know what though? But don't nobody mess with Charlene. Let me tell you that much.
Yeah, I don't even mess with Charlene. Okay, and that's my mother. I was like, all right, like, okay, Charlene. Like, I heard you. Causing anxiety over here.
All right, Charlene. So, then I called you Charlene. Clarissa, we are at the end of the interview. This has been so much fun.
Yes.
I have learned. I have been educated. I feel like I know you a lot better, and I'm so happy to have you a part of the FlightsInStilettos family as our one and only Chief Illustrator. So the one last question that I have before we get ready to sign off is, I'm all into self-care, right? So name one thing you do after you've drawn and you've done this and you've done that for everybody else. How does Clarissa take care of Clarissa? Name one thing that you do for your own self-care.
That's a great question. Wow. What is even self-care? I probably stare at the wall. I would say that. I would say like that as in like I'm always working and always trying to progress, get the next thing. Blah, blah, blah. But I guess like just turn off my phone, put the game on, play a PlayStation game or watch an anime.
And that's fine.
And that's it. Like just ignore everybody, just be in my own space, just by myself, light a candle, just probably go get some food, come back, take a shower, put on a PlayStation game or watch an anime and just ignore any responsibilities I might have or ignore what's going on in the world. And just be with myself and who I am as a person and just enjoy my hobbies, I guess.
Yes, and that's exactly what it's all about. It's just disconnected from everything and doing what makes Clarissa happy, what makes you one, what brings you into the present, and just that you feel rejuvenated and energized after having done that for yourself. And so self-care is very important because you have this kind of career that you're taking care of everybody else's needs. And so at the end of the day, Clarissa still has to think about Clarissa.
I tell myself that every day. Like, Clarissa, these people are paying your bills, but you need to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Like, there is no you without me. Like, these clothes ain't going nowhere. Like, they'll be there. Like, it's okay. Just take a break. Don't work today. It's all right, baby girl. Take care of yourself. Like, you don't want to, So, but yeah, that's important. Woo.
It is important.
I still struggle with that, but I'm doing better.
You're doing better. Yeah. If you can just try to do one thing a week, because one thing a day might be a lot, but one day a week or a couple of hours a week to just really just
Do
disconnect
nothing.
and
Stare at the
take it
walls. Like, just
Clarissa.
do nothing. Like, I just need to sit still in my own nothingness. Like, just, don't talk
It's
to me.
true.
Like,
It's true. It's true. So, Clarissa, we are at the end of this interview. Are there any last things that you would like to say? We've had a lot of people joining in, commenting. One of my most favorite customers, Yolanda, she's saying she loves the work that you have done on the beach house. So, Yolanda, I am so honored that you joined this live, because you get to see this dynamic duo, this Black Girl Magic team, and I absolutely adore Clarissa. And let me tell you, Yolanda, she literally has each and every one of your beach towels. She has collected them.
Oh my! Wow!
Yeah. And that's what usually happens, Clarissa. They'll order one. Because they might think that the beach towel is like a regular towel. You know how a regular towel is kind of dry, hard and like cotton.
Yeah.
It's a microfiber, and microfiber derives from silk, so it's very, very soft. And when they get one, they're like, "Oh my god!" And they order more of the beach towels. And so,
Auntie, thanks.
I'm very, very pleased to be able to introduce you to the woman behind the designs of the Glam Girl beach towels. So, do you have any final closing statements that you want to make?
No. I don't know. This was fun. Take care of yourself. Don't be working for the man all the time, because I'm gonna tell you right now, you drive yourself up a wall.
Yes.
And just love what you do and be passionate and just do what you want. Mind your business, drink your water, and hydrate.
Drink your water.
Drink your water, like use your cocoa butter on your skin, like live your best life. Like, who cares what anybody else thinks? Whatever.
Hello, I love your personality.
It's whatever.
Thank you so much, Clarissa. It has been a pleasure. And I think this is the longest conversation that we've ever had, because it's usually on a text, get it done, we'll talk later, show me when it's done. And so this has been
bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. This has been a pleasure. Having this dialogue with you and really getting to know you a little bit better. And before I get ready to sign off, I want to just say, if you notice, guys, I am wearing my fatigue, my camouflage, because tomorrow is Veterans Day. So if there are any veterans participating on this live, I just want to wish you a happy Veterans Day. And I want to just say that we thank you for your service in this country, because without you, I wouldn't have the freedom to do anything that I'm doing right now. So thank you for your service. And I'm wearing my camouflage for you.
Hey, camouflage.
So thank you. Clarissa, it has been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
So much, doll. And it's never goodbye, but it's so long, because we got 2022 to think about for them beach towels, honey.
Okay, now. All right. Talk to him.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Good night. Bye.
Guys, so thank you so much for joining Girls Love Flights, Feelings, and Fashion. This was Clarisa Coleman, the Chief Illustrator for the FlightsInStilettos Glam Girl Beach Towels. We will be back next week. Well, rather, I will be back next week with Chef Terrence. And so we're going to be talking about how to prepare a 5-star meal on a $5 budget, and how not to fuck up the macaroni and cheese. All right?
Don't fuck it up.
Bye, Clarissa. Bye, everybody, and thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.